What's going on, guys? It is Aiden Hutchinson.
What's up, man? It's your boy Amon-Ra St. Brown.
What's up, everybody? It's Calvin Johnson Jr. here, a.k.a. Megatron, a.k.a. First Ballot.
What's going on, Coach Dan at Lions Talk Live and the Duke Crew? This is Ball Hawk Ifeatu Melifonwu of the Detroit Lions. Everybody make sure you help support the YouTube channel Lions Talk Live by clicking that like and subscribe button. Let's get it and go Detroit.
Greetings and salutations to everyone out there in YouTube land. This is Dan Skipper, offensive weapon for the Detroit Lions. Make sure you all help support Lions Talk Live and Coach Dan by clicking on that like and subscribe button. Everybody, woo!
We've got breaking news coming into the Lions Talk Live this morning. There is no breaking news regarding the Detroit Lions. Well, greetings and salutations to everybody out there in YouTube land. Yes, I'm your host once again, Dan Thornton. And I want to thank you all for joining us here today, Lions Talk Live, Wednesday morning show edition. And yes, yesterday we did have some breaking news. Thankfully for the Detroit Lions, there is no news, at least as of right yet today. We did get some news just minutes ago from the NFL reporting that a trade is in the works of being finalized between the Kansas City Chiefs and, yes, the Tennessee Titans. DeAndre Hopkins may become a Chief sooner than expected, or I guess you just say may become a Chief. What that means for this weekend, probably not a whole lot. Tennessee is going to have one of the best defenses in the NFL, but yes, that would be a big blow to their offense. All right, before we get into the main topic of the day, the NFC North arms race that appears to be going on. There's a lot of rumors regarding the Minnesota Vikings, rumors regarding Green Bay, and yes, even the Chicago Bears potentially trying to bolster the rosters. We all get that the NFC North appears to be the best division in all of football. Nobody loses in this division unless it's within the division. So could this help fuel Brad Holmes, the front office of the Detroit Lions, their fire or need to go ahead and acquire some people before? As you can tell from the thumbnail, 13 days and counting go by. So November 5th is the trade deadline, 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. If it hasn't happened by then, we'll have to wait till next spring to acquire probably any big name players. All right, real quick, before we get to 5 headlines now, if you haven't yet subscribed to Lions Talk Live, please consider doing so. Making that push to get to 9,600 subs, and we're roughly 91 subs away from doing that. So if you can help out with that, that'd be great. Also, if you have a free second of time, it is free of charge. Reach on down, hit that thumbs up button, that like button. As you guys know, helps every channel out on YouTube out exponentially. We try to get every video between 2, 3, 4, 500. Basically as many likes as we can. Last but not least, if you are looking for something to read anytime soon, maybe for the upcoming holidays, and you just want to kick back and read something, please consider going to Amazon.com or wherever you buy your books and order Kajora book. It is the first of a 9-part series based on historical facts, but there is some fiction to it. With Japanese culture and Native American cultures combined into this story. So the next book comes out 2025. So if you're looking for something to read, go ahead and check this one out. Even leave a kind like or I guess review if you are so inclined. All right, with all that tongue-tied twisting out of the way, let's go ahead and get in the first segment of the day. And as you know, that is 5 headlines now. Yeah, I murder the English language faster than anything else. All right, here we go. Lions practice squad are poached, but Detroit re-adds a safety. SB Nation story by Jeremy Risman. Most of you may have seen it yesterday, or it may have just slipped under the radar. Either way is fine, but the Lions did have to give up one of their players. The Lions had one of their guys poached off the roster. Gill, who is a linebacker, the team added to be a Sam linebacker, Cam Gill that is, was poached by the Carolina Panthers. They brought him on over, and the Lions immediately re-signed Eric Hulk to the practice squad. He was actually the guy that was cut, so Cam Gill could be brought onto the team. So a lot of familiarity between both parties. Made sense for the Detroit Lions to reacquire him, I should say. Does give a little bit more depth to that secondary if needed. While the Lions did not want to lose Cam Gill, also, they are pretty stacked at linebacker on the 53-man roster right now. I understand why they'd let him go. All right, next to the 5 headlines now. NFL Insider reveals Pro Bowl edge rusher Detroit Lions might trade for in order to replace Aiden Hutchinson. This is from the New York Times, which is why I brought this one up. New York Times, I'm guessing we all know they're not kind of a fly by the seat of the pants type organization. They do have some really good investigative reporters. If they put it out there, you can probably believe there's a lot of weight to it. So they are reporting a couple different trade scenarios for Detroit from what they're hearing. And so let that sink in. I get anybody who puts something on YouTube or puts it in a newspaper or magazine, there's going to be a certain level of fans that just aren't happy with it, are going to throw stones at you. The Times are reporting that, yes, the Lions are at least one of the teams who have spoken to the Raiders about Max Crosby. Now, we're going to get more into that as this show goes on. They also point out the Lions have talked to a number of other teams, including the Cleveland Browns, about potential trades. Smith is mentioned in it, and they do bring up the question whether or not Myles Garrett could be a real possibility too. So for the Times to go out and report these and a couple other things, I think adds a lot of weight to some of the conversations this channel and other channels, not just me by any stretch of the imagination, have been having about the Lions, potentially having some conversations with multiple different organizations about their players before the trade deadline. All right, Lions trade rumors. Dan Campbell hits at the Detroit Lions acquiring Aiden Hutchinson replacement before trade deadline. Sporting News, story by Brian Murphy. This was on 97.1 The Ticket yesterday. Campbell does talk about it. He brings it up. I'm not going to play the clip. I'm sure you guys have probably already heard about it. But he does mention that, quote, Brad Holmes is, quote, still looking at everything right now. Yeah, we need a little bit more pressure, Campbell said, whether that's somebody in-house or we do things a little different or it's a trade. Look, Brad's still looking at everything right now. It's not like we turned our back to that and nobody is looking at anything, end quote. And there's a gajillion more quotes. He does mention MCDC, does mention, maybe they find enough with Isaiah Williams, maybe Mitchell Aguye, maybe Alaquin Muhammad, who they brought in, or just some of the other guys they've had over time with the organization. Maybe that's the route they go. He does point out, as he mentions on 97.1 The Ticket and a couple other outlets yesterday. I know he was on the Rich Eisens show and that topic came up. In a nutshell, he does come out and say that, yes, the Lions are talking to teams. Brad Holmes is working on some options. They may have to keep it in-house. They may go out and acquire people. Look, right now, I think the Lions, we can all agree on this. The Lions are doing everything they can to see if they can acquire something that isn't going to bankrupt the future for this franchise. They're trying to see if they can get somebody in here to help win this season and potentially in other seasons as well, but they don't want to give up the farm in order to acquire said person. With all that being said, we have another topic. It was too late for me to get on air. I didn't really want to get on it. I figured I'd save it for the morning show, but Mad Max himself, Raiders Max Crosby addresses trade speculation. Lions fans, here's what he said. Detroit News, Nolan Branchy with this one. So this one I will bring up on the screen because there's a little bit of video. And, hey, lets me clear my throat too. So let me bring this up on the screen. Scroll on down. All right, now I got to, all right, I think I can, let's see. You guys got it? You guys got it. All right, now let me see if I make it a little bigger for you guys. All right, so Max Crosby comes out and addresses it. Now, this is conflicting from what he said last week, remember, where we reported and everybody else reported that Max Crosby came out once Devontae Adams was traded and said, man, he wants to win. He doesn't want to be a part of a rebuild. So I don't know what to make of it. 1 week, Mad Max is here with something. The next, he's here with something. The next, he's here with something. So could he be traded? Absolutely. Like he does mention, he doesn't really control the fate. It is a business. Do the Lions make the Raiders an offer they can't refuse? Probably. I mean, it could happen, sure. Do I think he's an ideal fit for what this Detroit regime wants to do? That's the question I brought up in last night's video. I know a number of you guys commented on it or even messaged me or text me on it. I have no idea. I mean, if I'm Brad Holmes, I'm probably kicking every tire in the world. I'm trying to see which situation gives me the best return on my investment. So could it be him? Could it be somebody else? That I don't know. All right. So, hey, I wasn't trying to make these all the 5 headlines now, but it's just how it rolled. 6 NFL trades we'd like to see. Max Crosby to the Lions, DeAndre Hopkins to the Ravens. Obviously, that one's not going to happen at this point. This is from the New York Times. So the Times was all over it. Normally, they don't dive into speculation or rumors and innuendos unless they have some sort of inside information. Somebody they talk to with, feet on the floor in the organization, whatever, gives them something. Then they report it. But this one is a little bit more speculative. Obviously, as of this morning, Adam Scheffler is reporting that a deal is being finalized between the Chiefs and the Titans, so it doesn't sound like DeAndre Hopkins is going to go to the Ravens, although that would have been a nice fit. So we'll have to wait and see, like we've already talked about with all this. Could Crosby come here? Could somebody else come there? I don't know. We'll wait and see. All right, this is actually the sixth and last of the 5 headlines now. We got a bonus one. I want to thank Jason for sending me this over. I don't know, I was just finalizing the show, but he sent this over, and after 3 years of searching, the Lions may have finally found their other Sam linebacker. Story by Mike Payton, and it is a pretty good article. It does a lot of diving into Trevor Nowatzki potentially being the starting Sam, or at least somebody who gets a lot of reps at the Sam linebacker spot for the Lions this year and maybe for the future. We all get it. The Lions coaching staff came out as soon as they had to let him go last year. They didn't want to let him go. They just couldn't find somebody else to let go, unfortunately. But as soon as they had the opportunity this year to bring him on back to Detroit, they were all over it. And that move seems to be paying off. In 2 of his 3 games, he's had an elite, or at least nearly an elite, pro football focus grade. Not that that is the end-all, be-all. He's got 2 sacks. I mean, he is making an impact on the field, and it does appear, if you watch the coaching film, he is getting a little bit more firm, a little bit better at small details at the position, something he's never played before this season. And yes, I think the Lions do have a growing product and potentially a very good one in Trevor Nowatzki. With all that out of the way, let's go ahead and get over to this week's Power Rankings, with the Do Crew, I should say, Power Rankings. All right, as you guys know, once a week I go ahead and put out the Do Crew Power Rankings, what I have determined in my own opinion. It's my opinion, doesn't have to be anybody else's, but what say you guys on it? We'll start at number 32 and work our way up to number 1. Number 32 is going to be, probably not a big surprise here, the New England Patriots. They're not good. They're a long way from good, and I don't think they're probably a couple seasons at best away from being a competitive football team. Carolina Panthers, man, oh man, in case you missed the news, Carolina's quarterback, Andy Dalton, and his family were involved in a car accident. It does sound like everybody's okay. Whether or not that's going to impact his ability to play this weekend, I don't know. I didn't dive into the story that much once I saw that he was okay. But yes, they are not good, and I think it starts with them, ownership at the top all the way down to the bottom. Cleveland Browns, we've been talking a lot about them. They're number 30. Deshaun Watson, he hasn't been much of a player for them. Doesn't look like he's going to be much player for them this year or the upcoming season, or next season, I should say. So do they start selling off stuff? I think it would be in their best interest, but you know what? They don't ask me. Tennessee Titans are going to come in at number 29, and now that the story came out about DeAndre Hopkins potentially being traded as of this morning, I guess you could really split hairs between them and the Cleveland Browns. Maybe you should flop them there. Jacksonville Jaguars, talk about a team in disarray, a team in a mess. They're in at number 28. The Las Vegas Raiders, not L.A. Raiders. I know I still struggle to call them that. Sometimes I still call them the Oakland Raiders, but the Raiders, how about that? They're at number 27. So, hey, look at 2 trade partners, maybe 3 trade partners for pass rushers that we just mentioned, and they are the bottom of the league. Miami Dolphins at 26. Indianapolis Colts at 25. New York Football Giants, they're not looking, I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of things I could say about that organization. They're number 24. 23, the New York Jets, talking about a team in total chaos mode. New Orleans Saints, 22. Denver Broncos, 21. I actually think they're doing better than most people thought they would this year. The LA Rams, number 20. Chargers at 19. U of M to the west, by the way. Cardinals, 18. Cowboys, how about them Cowboys? Number 17. Bengals, 16. Philadelphia Eagles, 15. Seattle Seahawks, 14. The San Francisco 49ers, I struggled with this one. I did want to move them down a little bit more, but I am also trying to give them probably a little bit of credence just because they have so many injuries and so many star players. I made them number 13. Washington Commanders, man, all eyes are on Daniels right now, aren't they? They're number 12. Chicago Bears at 11. And let this all sink in. There are going to be 4 NFC North teams in the top 11. All right, Pittsburgh Steelers, number 10. Falcons, 9. Houston Texans. If they could have done us a solid last week and beat the Green Bay, that would have been nice. But they're number 8. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, number 7. Buffalo Bills, 6. Green Bay Packers, 5. Minnesota Vikings, 4. Baltimore Ravens, 3. Detroit Lions, man, I really struggled with this one. I left him at number 2 just because the Kansas City Chiefs, as you guys know, are undefeated. And I could have put the Lions number 1. I do think the Lions overall are a better team than Kansas City right now. But, when you haven't dropped the game, it's hard for me to knock you down the lot a little bit. All right, you guys let me know in the comment section your thoughts on that one. But now, without further ado, let's go ahead and get over to the main topic of the day. Yeah, I had a number of you guys, and especially like the last week, asked me when I play those little bits. I'm a one-man crew here just talking for an hour, maybe an hour and a half straight like yesterday. And I try to talk fast to fit in as much information as possible. So it just gives me a little bit of a break to kind of clear my throat or whatever, so I don't have to do it on air. All right, so getting back to the main topic today, the arms race. There are some reports, including Mike Florio over at PFF and NBC News, and I know he works for a multitude of outlets, suggesting that there have been some level of chatter, whether it be speculative on his part or legitimate on his part, I don't know. And I do believe there's been a couple other outlets as well that reported that the Rams have spoken with the Minnesota Vikings about potentially acquiring Matt Stafford. Could it be Matt Stafford comes back to the NFC North, finishes out his career, probably has an overall better situation there if he does than he does with the Rams. That being said, I'll be rooting for Matt Stafford once again tomorrow night. But at any rate, I don't know if that's going to happen, but it does kind of go to this thumbnail, 13 days and counting. What are some teams really going to do? We've heard the Chicago Bears are trying to acquire another pass rusher or two. We've heard that the Green Bay Packers are trying to beef up their offensive line. I think we all are aware that the Detroit Lions are linked to just a gaggle of different trade options for pass rushers to help replace Aiden Hutchinson or just make the defensive line better. But also think about what we just chatted about in the power rankings. You can make a real easy argument that the NFC North has all 4 teams in the top 10 of the NFL. Let that sink in. The difference between first and fourth place ain't a whole lot right now, at least record-wise or whatever. Could it be as the season progresses, maybe somebody falls out of that? Sure. But I think what we can agree is everybody in this division is aware how good they are. They also know if you want to be the number 1 or 2 seed, you're probably going to have to finish number 1 or number 2 in the NFC North. It is unlike any other division out there in football. If you don't win the North, you're not probably you're not going to more than likely have a home playoff game. Also means you're going to have to go through on the road on the playoffs. So if for the sake of discussion, if Chicago makes a move to acquire a few people, does that spur on the other 3 teams say, man, now we've got to do something, or we are going to fall grossly behind? If Minnesota acquires Matt Stafford, and hey, I'm not taking anything away from Sam Darnold. I was impressed with how he played Sunday. Look, I don't watch all their games by any means, but watching him this season from just a statistical standpoint, he's played pretty well. He's been a nice addition to them. But if you get someone like Matt Stafford, does that now really push the Minnesota Vikings up the food chain a little bit more? I would say there's some discussions for that. Green Bay Packers, if they firm up that line or do something else, does that now propel them forward? Kansas City Chiefs are probably, over the last half decade, the creme a la creme of the league. I mean, it'd be hard to really pick another team over that time frame. And look at what they did this morning. They are making a move to make their run, a chance of a three-peat, a little bit stronger. How are they doing that? I believe it's draft capital. Although, to be honest, before I went on air, I didn't really check out what the trade potential details are. So somebody would have to comment it on the comment section. I can't do it while I'm live on air. What I can say is there comes a point, like the Rams did, where maybe getting that 32nd overall pick in the first round isn't as enticing as having a guy come on in who's going to be able to impact this season, next season, and if you're lucky for the contract, maybe 2 seasons beyond this one. Maybe that's where the Lions are at with things. It sounds like from what I've reported and heard in the last 24 hours or even last week, the Lions are talking to a lot of different teams about a lot of different trade scenarios. Where that goes, I don't know, but I think we all can agree. You want to win the NFC North, these next 13 days are going to be damn important to every team out there. Because if somebody all of a sudden gets massively better by giving up some draft picks or trading a current player for another player, then it's probably forcing your hand to say, yes, we've got to go out and grab some other dudes, or we're probably not going to be nearly as competitive in this division. All right, that's all I got to say on this one. You guys in the comments section, let me know about what you think about the arms race in the North for the next 13 days. What do you have to say about the power rankings? Or, hey, if you think there's anything with the Titans and Chiefs alleged trade this morning or finalizing the trade this morning, do you think that spurs us on to what say you guys do, crew? We've got no guests today, so I can just go through the comment section. And yes, I see there's a bit of a comment section. Real quick, if you haven't subscribed, please consider doing so. We're 90 or whatever it was subs away from 9,600. And also, if you would be so kind, hit that thumbs up, that like button. You guys all know it helps the channel out a lot here. All right, Michael D, greetings, salutations, coach and do crew, exclamation points, Superdome, Super Bowl, one pride, woo, woo, and good morning to you too, my friend. Jason, greetings, salutations, hoping the Vikes collapse tomorrow night. Me too, man, me too. Watch the Lions game again, Superdome or bust. Yes, it's a good game. You can see a lot of different stuff there. I do suspect if the Lions just say we're going to keep everything in-house, we're not going to make any trades, you know what, we're going to become Blitzburg because you don't really have a choice. You're going to play man-to-man coverage. We talked about it in the preseason. We talked about it last year. It's what Aaron Glenn prefers. I think you're going to see a lot more speed on the field. That's why I like Nowatzki. That's also why I like Rodrigo. It's also why I like Isaiah Thomas, to be fair. These are guys who can cover ground in a hurry. They are all athletic and fast. You maybe have the front line be the bigger beef guys to keep the running game in check while trying to get some pressure on a quarterback and now allow the snipers to come out of the second layer of the defense to get after the quarterback. But also means you have less guys in coverage. All right, sorry, guys, got something in my Bo, good morning, Duke crew, off to the races, and the Super Bowl is in sight. Woo! And good morning to you too, Bo. Jameer, greetings and salutations, everyone. Always good to see you, my friend. Robert, greetings and salutations, back at you. Big Daz, good morning, Coach Dan and the Duke crew. Good to see you, my friend. Hopefully you're having a terrific morning. Robert, the Detroit Lions hangover, yes, the Vikings will lose. I'm hoping you are right, my friend. Rich, good morning, Duke crew. Lions roaring 2024. We need to go get defensive line help ASAP. Woo! And hey, we'll know in 13 days. Heck, we might know something today. Big Daz, I like the Browns trade, except giving Hooker is too much. You know, that's the one thing that I know we talked about it in the video last night. It sounds like the thing the Lions are really holding back from making the trade currently is the second round pick. So the 2026 second round pick. And then, yes, parting ways with Hendon Hooker. But I get it if I'm the Browns, man, because you would free up a ton of cap getting rid of Garnett and Smith. Plus, you're still tied to Deshaun Watson for a few more years on that just horrendous contract. Getting Hendon Hooker makes it a whole lot easier to move on from Watson because you'd offset a whole lot of that because his contract as a third round pick just isn't that egregious. Bo, the Electron dance will probably not catch on. Okay, well, we'll have to see. Send me a video of the Electron dance. All right, Jameer, we might as well get over the Max Crosby rumors. He said on his podcast that he wants to be a Raider for life. Yes, he did do that. Yeah, so, you know, unless the Lions just make the Raiders a trade that, hey, they can't say no to, and, you know, at the end of the day, he only has so much say in it, but I do get his stance, yes. All right, Clark, what's up, Dude Crew? Morning, peeps, question mark. Yes, we do need to be all in. I like the way you're thinking. Get after it. You guys know me. Personally, I'm aggressive by nature. I would say, yes, we're going to make a move. We're going to probably make a big splash move. We're going to do it for this year. And someone like Garrett with Myles Garrett, where he's going to be around at least 2 more years after this. Jason, the Lions proved they can win giant games on the road. Just purchased tickets for the Packers game in November on the Lions sideline, 20-yard line. No JMO or Hutch, but we will win. Woo! I'll go with that. And yes, we still don't know about JMO. If we really don't hear anything from the NFL today, then it's not happening this week. They're not going to do it. I would hope they wouldn't do a team dirty by dropping the news today. But if they don't say anything at all today, you'll be putting a team in a real bad spot waiting until Thursday when now they really only have one practice. I mean, just for those who don't know, the Friday practices are just kind of walkthroughs. They're nothing big. You'd be doing a real big disservice to any team you do that. That being said, I've reported it for years, whether with, you know, Detroit newspapers, the Associated Press. I am a firm believer. Roger Goodell is perhaps not the biggest Detroit Lions or Ford family fan. All right, moving on, Big Daz. I don't know. Crosby was that light in weight? Yeah, you didn't know he was that light. Yeah, he's, you know, whatever he is, 250 or something. I mean, he's a good size linebacker, great size linebacker. I could see where he'd be a real good defensive end pass rusher specialist, which he is. But for this, what the Detroit Lions want on that defensive line, yeah, they want guys more in the 280s, 290s. And even Smith from Cleveland, I want to say, man, somebody asked me last night in the comment section, I want to say he's 275, but don't hold me to that. He's somewhere up there. Hatman, top of the morning, Dan and Motley Dew crew, heading to the stand with my coffee and waiting for the show to start. Well, enjoy the hunting, my friend, and have a good time. Big Eddie, greetings, salutations. Anyone listening to Campbell yesterday on 97.1? Question mark. Did he say the team was indeed looking into trades? He did. He mentioned that on a few different networks yesterday. Again, Rich Eisen, 97.1. And I want to say he was on 2 other places, but don't hold me to that. Jameer, I think we should just focus on trading with the Browns. I like the way you are thinking. That is a great idea at this point. Trey, Big Daz, I didn't either until Coach talked about it last night. Nice catch on that. Hey, sometimes I get something right. The non-laughers, good morning. Dan and the Duke crew, same to you. Hopefully you are having a laughing great morning. Or maybe you don't want a laughing morning. I don't know. You are the non-laughers. Tori, good morning, Duke crew. Any word on Williams at question mark? This has me nervous. None yet. So not to make it a story about that, but I really think the NFL wasn't going to make any kind of comment or move on Jameson Williams. Eric Woodyard, he's a great reporter, got some information from somebody on it. There does seem to at least be some weight to it. Obviously, Dan Campbell was on different networks. He spoke about it briefly. Again, he reiterated he can't really talk about it. All he can do is say that, hey, we're aware of the situation and we're ready to focus on these guys. You could take that 20 different ways. I know Johnny Gas Sports took it as, hey, we're ready to part ways with Jameson Williams, or at least not have him around for a couple games. It could also be that, hey, if he's not available, we're ready to focus on these guys. I'm not sure what to make of it. All I think is, at the end of the day, there does seem like more information has come out that it wasn't exactly a banned substance. It could have been something completely different. And yes, for those who aren't fully aware, the difference between PAS and PEDs, it is a difference. But again, I don't want to absolve Jameson Williams from any blame. You're a pro athlete. As much as it may suck to have to always read the labels on stuff, it's part of your job. It's part of your career. And if you can't do it or just don't have the time to do it, to be fair to all athletes, they probably just don't have the time. There is a company in both Grand Rapids and in the greater Detroit area that will handle that all for you. Basically, there's a grocery store. You can click through online. You can order the stuff. And they've already confirmed with your league that this is an approved substance. So whether it's just groceries, cold medications, whatever. But the problem is most athletes don't know about it. The teams don't talk about it since they don't have any kind of benefits from you using that service. That, hey, you go into Myers or Jewel Oscar or whatever. You just grab something for a cold, sore back, you want better hair, whatever it is. There could be a substance in there that does draw a flag. So, all right, enough on that one. All right, Jesse, green citations, y'all. Tori, I didn't see anything, so he might not even be suspended. Correct. At this point, he is not suspended. We don't even know if he will be suspended. He might not even have done anything wrong. Woodyard might have messed this kid over with that, quote, leak if it's wrong. If it is wrong and nothing happens, then, Jameson Williams, I get it. Fans are frustrated. Fans, hey, we're all passionate about the team. We want to see what's best for the team. But if Jameson Williams doesn't even get suspended and all the people that were kind of throwing stones as his windshield, it's just tough on the kid, because he may have indeed not done anything wrong. France, good day all. If Stafford goes to the Vikings, I do believe that puts more pressure on Holmes to beef up the rush. I would agree. You'd probably see you'd almost be forcing, I think, the Lions into doing something. It's either that or maybe we just say we're good enough with what we got. Let's see, Shamir, Coach, I think it's time to work on that Brad Holmes. Yeah, now can I get a Sheila? Woo! Thanks, Coach. Anytime, my friend. And yeah, I probably need to add a few more effects. But as per your request, here you go. And yes, I'll try to add some more. AJ, good morning. I'll back at you. Moonscar. Duke Crew. Duke Crew. I don't understand the Stafford to the Vikings rumor. Has Sam Darnold not played that bad? Just seems that trade as a need for them. No, I agree. I think Darnold's done pretty well. What you would have to give up to get Stafford too. I'm just not sure if it's worth that much. But hey, if the Vikings want to do it, good. I guess good for them, especially since they drafted a rookie quarterback. I mean, he's not going to be able to play until next year. But you guys all get it. All right, 17, good morning, boys. Exclamation point. I hope we find out today on one way or the other on Williams, just so we can move forward and not have it drag on. Yeah, me too, man. I would like to just know, can he play this weekend? Can he? This is just my opinion. You want to really know if Roger Goodell has got it in for the Detroit Lions? This news came out on Monday, right? We're not going to really kind of make a ruling on it until, how about after the Titans game? Yeah, look at their schedule. Yeah, how about if he misses Houston and Green Bay? That sounds better to me. And, if that happens, then I'll do a deeper dive video on it. I'll drag up some demons of the past or skeletons from the past and let you guys digest it, come to your own conclusions. That's okay. We'll move on from that. Jason, did we ever find out what the substance was that J-Mo was suspended for? Not at this point, not that I'm privy to at least, but I can tell you it's not the performance-enhancing stuff, so it's not the major violation stuff. It would be something of a minor violation, so we'll have to wait and see. Avery Giovanni, Spirit of Detroit, says teams trying to get cute is killing them against us. Brian Branch is just doing what AG designs. How well a new guy or guys integrate into the plan, I guess it would depend on the position. I would think defensive ends, especially ones that are vested veterans, like a Smith or Myles Garrett, they probably figure things out pretty quick. They've been in the league long enough. J-Mo hasn't been suspended yet. Yes, correct. Jason, as of now, I don't think he has even been suspended. Correct. Hookadoo, good morning. Duke Crew, One Pride. Stephanie, I was looking last night. I didn't see anything the NFL made it official. Not as of yet, at least that I've seen. Lions Talk Live fan. Hope we get the Dez and Smith and Garrett. Yes, that would be great. I would be way okay with that. Bo, he might not even be suspended. Correct. Sosimo, good morning. Back at you. Man Bear, good morning. Dan Aru and the Scooby-Doo crew. Good to see you, my friend, as always. Jason, regarding the breaking news, welcome Max Crosby to the Detroit Lions. We'll have to wait and see. Maybe something happens. Brent, good morning. Dan and Duke crew. Superdome and no bust! Exclamation point. Oh, yeah. I'll go with that. Good morning, my friend. Miles Barker, I first heard that Stafford rumor from Florio after Lions-Vikings game. Man, how quickly they turned on Sam Darnold. But yes, correct. Florio did speak on it. Jason, Hopkins to KC seems to make them scary good. Yeah, especially if they get some of their walking wounded back. Yeah, they'd be pretty loaded up for yet another Super Bowl run. Quentin Green, salutations, y'all. They did J-Mo dirty as can be. I would agree with that. If this news leak is not even accurate, if it doesn't get him suspended, then, man, that kid went through 48 hours of stress for nothing. JK, Titans very beatable. Now looking on paper, I can agree with that, even though they do have some pretty good defensive weapons. Hookadoo, top of the morning, Miles Barker. Back to you both. Mike 505, good morning, Dan and the Duke crew. Exclamation point. Who we trading for? Question marks. Who do we think we will get, Coach? To me, if you remove the Vegas Raiders topic there, I mean, we talked about in the power rankings, there are a number of teams, probably 4 or 5, that have pretty good pass rushers that are now in the bottom, 5, 10 teams in the league. These are teams that are probably more likely to be selling. The Browns information I got yesterday, it makes a lot of sense to me on a lot of levels. You need a young quarterback and a cheap one to kind of offset Deshaun Watson. Let's face it, the Deshaun Watson trade, while great on paper when it happened, has been an atomic bomb on that organization. It has destroyed the fan base. It has destroyed their draft capital, their salary cap, all the subplots with the storylines and stuff. It just hasn't been good. Hendon Hooker, if you send him over there, this is what I said last night, that there's going to be zero pressure on him to do anything other than learn this year. They're not going anywhere this year, and you could probably tell them, man, we're not going anywhere next year. So from that standpoint, you can just focus on developing the guy. The team probably gets that too. So the guys that are there are saying, hey, we got to work on getting this guy better. Maybe we win some games, try to do something with this season and next year. Salary cap, it helps with that. Draft picks, you can start rebuilding the franchise. Garrett and Smith, obviously Smith is, 31, 32. He's not worried about 3 seasons from now in Cleveland. He's worried about right now. Garrett's 27, 28, something like that. So he's kind of the same boat. He can play at a high level for a few more seasons, an elite level. But probably by the time the Browns actually got relevant, he's probably on the decline. So here's my thing. Would you get rid of something now what has value, or 3 years from now when its value is really diminished? All right, Ken, good morning, Danny and the Duke crew. Wow, 6:30 a.m. and there's this many people in the chat, chat already, the live chat already. Yes, correct, Ken. Hey, we got a crew that do in the morning. Voltron Force, Titans have a very good defense. I would agree with that. Jedi Sith, good morning. Duke crew, back at you. Johnny L, good morning, everybody. Hopefully it's a great morning for you, Johnny. David Green, salutations. One pride. I concur. Rocky M, Coach Rock, how you doing? Good morning, all. I believe they have to find a pass rush somehow, or Jordan Love will have all day against us. So time to go for it. The window is now. You know my stance. I would be all over it just for that reasoning. Ken, I'm driving, so it's difficult to read all the comments, but I have a question. Is it possible that Joe's suspension, or J-Mo's suspension, was leaked intentionally to try to force the NFL to start the clock ASAP? Is it possible? Sure. If, it would appear Dan Campbell and the organization was aware of something. Did they try to get it out there, as you're suggesting, to force the NFL's hand to get one of those games to be this week? Absolutely, it's possible. It's just no way for me to be able to confirm one way or the other. So we'll wait and see. Miles Meyer, nice soggy morning up to you, Hookadoo. All agreed. Matthew Green, salutations. Good morning, everyone. Superdome, Super Bowl. Woo, woo, woo. Sheila likes to woo in the fresh morning dew. Yes, she does, my friend. Hookadoo, I wish it would rain here, Miles Marker. Well, you might get your wish. It's raining here. Hardy, we can't let Myles Garrett go to an NFC, especially the NFC North competitors. Yeah, if the Bears or Vikings or somebody else got him and Smith, yeah, that would be not good for us by any stretch. Brent, I think this is another game that Hooker gets some snaps late. I hope so, man. I like seeing him, Rakestraw, some of the young guys get out there just for developmental reasons. Mike the Marine, Gunny, howdy, Dan and Duke crew. Woo! Good morning to you, Gunny. Say, Brother Lee, what do you got? DeAndre Hopkins to the Chiefs. We need this Cleveland deal to go through ASAP. I'm all for it, man. If you got any way to hit that, hey, trade button on your screen, go ahead and make it happen. Let's get those guys over here to Detroit for this weekend. Mitch, what do you got? Any update on the Myles Garrett and Smith package? Question mark. What do you personally expect out of this? So nothing from last night. I got up and started working on this stuff, so I haven't heard anything else. To me, what do I expect? I think that if it's really that close where it's down to Hooker and the 2026 second round pick, that's not a whole lot of difference. What I would think, you probably do have to give up Hooker. There's got to be a reason for Cleveland to really want to make that trade. They need a quarterback of the future. He could be it. He would have been a first round pick if he didn't blow out his knee. So Lions would have got great value there. But, maybe the other second round pick, the 26, maybe you get that down to a fourth or something like that. I don't know. That's purely speculation on my part. But, I think you got to make it happen. If you really, your goal this year is to win the Super Bowl, win the North, et cetera, et cetera. I think you got to make it happen. Hookadoo, Gunny, how has your wife been doing? Yeah, any updates, Gunny? Thoughts and prayers again for her. Miles Marker, yeah, pretty dry out there this fall, Hookadoo. JK, blowout game, next one. But if it's not, just win it. Yes, just win, baby. Broski, the Titans are complete trash, says Lions fans, until the week you play them. All of a sudden, their defense is elite, and they're a tough team. Amazing. I think their defense is pretty good. I mean, you can have your own opinion, Broski. I really like their defense. I'm not saying the team is great or elite. I like the defense. So you do have to try to listen and sometimes comprehend. Henry, what do you got? Good morning, Coach Dan and the Duke crew. May your day hold many surprises for the day. Hey, thanks for that. Hopefully it does for you as well. Sarge, good morning, Dan and all, exclamation point. Lions roar and score. I like that, by the way. Oh yeah, 4 more days. Woo! And good to see you, Sarge. Kim, any word on Broderick Martin's return? The last I heard, which is about a week ago, Kim, that he was pretty close. MCDC gave a little bit of an update on it. My guess, he's got to be like a week or two out, maybe less. But we'll see. I don't think he was there was any comments about him yesterday, but if he's on the practice field in a full go today, that would be a good sign. Kim, I'm worried Brad is going to wait too long to acquire someone, and we're going to lose out to another team. It's always possible, just like I always tell clients when it comes to buying or selling property or anything, a collectible. Somebody else beats you to it, they get it, you don't. So, the longer you wait, the higher probability that is. Don Broski here crying already. It happens. Coach Rock, kind of wish that the trade talk was more hush-hush for other teams didn't know what you're up to. They're all aware of it, at least in my experience. somebody inside the organization is going to tip somebody off. So why do I say that? All the years I've coached, here's one thing I can universally say about every assistant coach I've ever met. They want to be a head coach. How do you gain favor? How do you move up in the ranks of coaching or whatever it is? You prove value. Now, at the college level, can you recruit? If you can recruit in the college level, you've always got a career. You've always got a coach who's going to hire you. If you can schematically scheme things up and you're a great personality, you know what? They're going to hire you too. Then that's true in the pros. Pros, if you can scout players, if you hit on a lot of good calls on the draft, you know what? You've got a future. It's no different than recruiting. And if you can schematically come up with stuff that other people can't or find information other people can't, somebody's going to employ you. John Campbell said, we are making a move. All right. I like that. And yes, he did allude to that, John. Scott, love the Lions, ? Like the channel. Woo! Hey, thanks for that, Scott. Thank you very much for that. Hookadoo. Yeah, Don, excuse me. We haven't played a trash team till Thanksgiving. Laughing out loud. Ooh, shots are being fired in the comments section. Don, yeah, trash at Chicago. There we go. JK, no Crosby then. Oh, well. Yeah, if we don't get them, oh, well. We got to move on. Salim 313, good morning to you. I haven't seen you in a minute, man. So good to see you. And good morning, Coach Dan. Thanks for that, man. Good to see you in the chat again. Justin Broski, isn't there a Bears podcast you can watch? That is often a question I have. Broski, I can see the Lions making a move for Garrett or Parsons. Ooh, Parsons might be an idea. But again, I think you'd have the same problem with him that you'd have with Crosby. Not that you want it. I don't think you'd turn either one of them down, but their size, you can't really play them on end every down. They would be basically a pass rush specialist who would now take over the Sam Backer spot. But yeah, totally. I think if it makes sense, go get him. Mike the Rain Gunny, my wife has a rare disease, curious sinus, thrombosis, which had a blood clot behind the eye. The Naval Hospital transported to specialists who's doing a great job with antibiotics and blood thinners. Prayers and love. Yeah, hey, thoughts and prayers for her. Hopefully everything's going well. Keep us updated, my friend. We'll keep, everyone in the Do Crew will keep her in their thoughts and prayers for her. JK, yeah, yep, Garrett, or somebody else be like looks, in your opinion. There you go. You got to kick the tires and find out. Ryan Broski is an adolescent teen chatting from a bus stop. Yeah, bus stop. Bus stop Broski. There we go, Ryan. Bo Simplified Gunny, prayers for your wife. Agreed, 1,000%. Brent, prayers, Gunny. Moonscar, Dan, the Power Rankings music clip from 1986 or 87, it might be. You got to find clips that you can use that you don't get you flagged or banned by YouTube. So that's the tricky part. Miles Margaret, best wishes to her. Mike the Marine Gunny, there you go. Man Bear, can you smell what Brad is cooking? I'm hoping, man, and I'm hoping sooner versus later we get a result, but 13 more days until you're either doing something or you're waiting until next year. Big D, Marine Mike, I have a Profilins S deficiency in my blood, which means my blood clots 4 times faster than normal. Been in blood thinners all my life. Blood thinners will help her. I hope so, my friend. And thoughts and prayers for you too, Big D. Maddie, what's up, chat? What's up, Maddie? How you doing this morning? Johnny L, best wishes and prayers for your wife, Gunny. Agreed with that. Gunny, thank you. Big D, yes, also best wishes, brother. There you go. Miles Marker, good morning. Maddie B, Muckadoo, prayers for Gunny. Moonscar, prayers, Gunny. Big D, she will get cold a lot faster, though she might need something cuddly. Yay, give her some cuddling. Give her a warm blanket, all the above. Man, bird prayers, Mike, God bless, 100%. Matty B, Chiefs are worse. All right, we'll go with that. Matty B, throwing more picks than TDs is not the number one team. That could be a fair statement too, but I think they are still the last undefeated team. That's why I didn't want to dock them too much. Pat, Lions are giving 12 in hook for points. That's a lot. Oh yeah, as far as Vegas lines, I did say that. Yeah, that's a brutal line. I mean, you guys, I get some of you guys gamble. I don't, but I can tell you that's a massive tell from Vegas. Jason, Matty B, what's up, brother? We will find out. Matty B, haha, Jason Smith, what's up, dude? Man Bear, boots and pants. There you go. Josie, good morning, Coach Dan and the Do Crew. Exclamation points. Go Lions. Back at you, my friend. Hopefully you have an outstanding day. Jason, what? Stafford back? No way. It's at least being speculated. Now, whether or not the Minnesota Vikings and Rams will do it, I don't know. Rams are getting back. It sounds like Cooper Kupp. Puka Nakua's got to be back, I would think, fairly soon. They should start getting some of their walking wounded back. If they can pull off a win tomorrow night against Minnesota, Lions fans would be thankful, be cheering on Matt Stafford once again. But the other part is, you look at their division, they'd be right in the thick of things. Jason, go Rams. I think that's what I'm doing tomorrow night. Pat, that Stafford is not leaving sunny LA. Maybe not. He might say, hey, can I just stay here versus cold Minnesota? Jason, Bucks are in trouble with the receiving corps. Godwin gone for the season. I saw that. Evans out a few weeks. Atlanta, KC, San Francisco being their next 3 games. Hey, I hope they fall on their face for all 3 games. No offense. That would help Detroit. Jason, not Mrs. Stafford for sure. No, she'd probably stay in L.A., I'm guessing. Dimitri, good morning. Dan and Lions fam, good to see you, my friend. A great morning to you. Miles Barker, Pat, I agree. Florio is stirring the pot. He might just be doing that. He is, for those who don't know, Mike Florio is a Vikings fan. That means Kelly ain't leaving L.A.? I think we all can agree on that. Jason, everyone going to be trading in the NFC North. Going to be crazy. It will be. I think once the first team does it, I think that puts pressure on everybody else to do it. So that's my opinion. Matt B, she's welcome to that stuff. Yes, 100%. Dimitri, hit that thumbs up button for Dan. Thank you for that. Yeah, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. You guys all know it helps the channel out. Jason, Matt B, she had enough of the cold winters, bro. That's probably a whole lot of truth. Joseph, by the way, I wouldn't trade Hendon Hooker. He's just an extra window throw in. I would trade him like he's on an even trade, because they need a quarterback real bad and we need an edge rusher. Yeah, and I think we're all in agreement. The Cleveland Browns, Hendon Hooker makes a lot of sense for them. They've got an okay offensive line. He does have some mobility. He's got a huge arm. I mean, he's a massive dude. If you ever get a chance to see him, he is not a small quarterback by any stretch of imagination. So if I'm Cleveland, I get if you're saying this season's over, more than likely next season, I want draft picks and I want a young quarterback. Sort of like how we got Goff, we didn't have to go get someone. You give up this trade for the draft picks. Now you get Hendon Hooker in return. It makes a lot of sense from their standpoint, I think. Justin, let's see. I don't understand that can't be true. Sam Darnold is playing way better than Stafford by far. Yeah, and it's just. I think somebody else mentioned it. I think it's more Mike Florio stirring it up, wanting it to happen than anything else. Josie, but a quarterback's more important than a team. There you go. See, Hookadoo. Nah, Kelly won't. She'll have another boyfriend. If I'm Matt Stafford, I probably got to raise an eyebrow about that. And yes, worry about it. Chris Steele, what up, though? Hopkins to KC, Lions by 30. I'm hoping you're right, my friend. The Ronin 99, the infamous Ronin 99. Everyone sees the North is a gauntlet. It is, man. And you know what? So far, we're 1-0. We need to try to make sure we can do everything we can to stay on top as easily as we can. Matt B. Stafford to Miami would make sense. Sense. Yeah, I can see that. They got a ton of weapons there. It's warm. Kelly would probably enjoy it. Broski, sleeper trade Lions. They trade for cornerback J.C. Horn from the Panthers. Maybe Broski, but I just don't think the Lions really need. At this point, don't really need a cornerback. Maybe I'm wrong, but I just want to see that one. Let's see, Jason, Matty B. Yeah, I'll go with that. Joseph, you really think Stafford wants to come back to this division and be embarrassed by Goff multiple times this season? I don't think so, but Florio apparently wants it to happen. Jason, edge rushers 2 times, 1 more wide receiver and a DB. Okay, we can go for all that. Joseph laughing. Matty B, if Darnold gets benched, I will be dying laughing. He might be, but hey. I feel for the guy because he's been through a lot in his career. Jason Darnold isn't getting benched. Okay. That record was crazy. I'll go with that. Pat, I would bench James Houston and call up Agudie from the practice squad to see what he can do. Looks like precision games. If you're looking good precision games, yeah, we'll have to see what they do. It's pure speculation what I think they're going to do come Sunday. Can't wait to see if Minnesota is going to have Detroit hangover effect. Yeah, I think most people are probably watching that to try to see, hey, is there? I mean, if it's a thing, we get it. It's been a thing for every team so far. But if you could somehow now get the Rams to win against Minnesota, man, that really helps Detroit. Brian, what if Chicago goes after that Cleveland trade? It would not be good for us for years. I would agree. If they got them along with Montez Sweat, and they do have some other good guys on the line, plus their secondary, that would just be, they would be the monsters of the Midway once again. Kim, we need to get a pass rusher this week so that he's ready for Green Bay. What do you think the chances of that are? 50-50? I mean, I guess it really just comes down to, do things get easier close to the trade deadline? My worry is it sounds like if I'm Cleveland, it sounds like there are a lot of different teams after Smith. We got to get that. And it does sound like there's some teams after Myles Garrett too. So if I'm Cleveland, I'm holding all the cards right now. It's just whoever's going to outbid the other person who's going to be the winner. JK, the North being racing for the number one spot, 100% there. Dimitri, what do you got? Kurt Steele, what up, though? Flintstone. Kurt Steele, Dimitri, what up, though? Jason, we get beat on the edge. We're flanked. I'll go with that. Pat, we should keep D.E. Bates and put Houston on the practice squad. Now Bates is looking good in the Canadian Football League. Yeah, but there is a difference between the Canadian League and our league, so maybe they bring him back. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Matt B, we got to seal the edges, and the guys healthy can't do it. Yeah, they did have some struggles last week. Maybe it'll be different this week with more reps. Miles Marker, Joseph C, looking forward to seeing that happen. Me too, my friend. Manifest my destiny. Always good to see you. Long-time Lions Talk Live individual. Let's say it, November 4th, one day before the trade deadline. Who do you feel will be the new faces on this team? Question mark. FYI, just found out DeAndre Hopkins traded the Chiefs for a 4th-round pick. That's it. Yeah, it makes you wonder. Doug, basically, we are the calm before the storm if we trade. It could be talked about for years. If we don't trade, same could be said. Stopwatch, blue hand timer. Yeah, I mean, if we don't make a trade and we end up just missing the postseason, the Super Bowl, whatever, everybody's going to probably look back at this moment and say, man, we should have done this or that. So I get what you're saying there, Doug. Motor City Paulie, I'd like to see from. Hey, Jake from State from 100%. Paul, it may be TK85 time again. Oh, yeah, it might be. They do have a lot of faith in him. Mark, what do you got? Hooker will be 27, and we may never use him with Jared in the house. That could be another factor with the Lions, is given the fact that you just signed Goff to a 3-year extension, so you got him basically 3 more years after this one. I mean, Hooker would be 30 at that point, and at the end of his rookie contract, I don't know. Well, I guess let's all kick back and wait and see. Brother Lee, what do you got? You give up Hooker and sign Ryan Tannehill to be your backup. Do people not understand how good Myles Garrett is? That's a fair point there on Tannehill. Jason, yeah. Jason, what do you got? DC is resigned on JMO. Might be. We'll have to wait and see what happens with everything. Pat, let's see what wide receiver Isaiah Thomas can do when we play Tennessee. If he's active, I would suspect him to get out there. Joe C, I know I really don't want Crosby now to come to Detroit. Okay, fair enough. We'll take him off the list. Applying pressure. I keep telling people he's not suspended at this moment. He probably won't get suspended. It's all, right now, just a guessing game what's going to happen with Jameson Williams. Joe C, yeah, but you do have to trade Hendon Hooker. He's more of a necessity for them as well, just like we need an edge rusher, but a quarterback is more important to a team. Yeah, I agree. I would totally get why the Cleveland Browns would want Hendon Hooker. It makes total sense. Doesn't have to anybody else, but to me, that's just my opinion. You can have a different one. And not saying you do have a different one. Dimitri, I see the Lions walking to the Super Bowl. Woo! Give me one, Dan. You want one? I'll give you one. You know what? You ask, ye shall receive. All right, Doug, I'd be happy knowing what Fromm is capable of after really knowing our offense. He's a fit for Goff-style replacement. Hooker was drafted at 50% for trade value and 50% to keep Goff agent honest. Okay, fair enough. Just see, that's just too much with all the draft and paying their contracts too. Yeah, it could be part of the reasons why the Lions don't want to give up that 2nd-round pick, if you remember, the 2026 one. Doug, if Goff went down, no inexperienced quarterback was ever going to carry this team to the Super Bowl anyways. I'll go with that. Mark, we need to include Houston in that Cleveland trade. Maybe they do. Maybe they do try to incentivize the trade with adding Houston. Jason, the Titans are number 1 in yards allowed per game. We will challenge that stat. I see a dominant defensive performance from the Lions as a 30-10 win. I'm down with that, my friend. Jason, Doug, yeah, all in Goff 5 years. There we go. Applying pressure. If you have to add Hooker to the deal to get Myles Garrett, do it, Brad. Okay. Woodward AV Sports says Jason, question mark. I don't know. Jason, someone DeFalto has the Lions. Nothing new though. Yeah, I don't have anything new, at least while I'm on air here. You'll see. I hope they don't think the Titans is going to be a pushover, though, because Titans started out real good with the Bills the other day. They just went downhill. They did. And, yeah, I would hope a Dan Campbell team doesn't overlook anybody, especially at home. But, one never knows. Joseph C., But if D-Hop ain't going to be there, that's a big piece missing from them. It takes away a lot. It does. The good thing for the Titans is they have today, tomorrow, and Friday to a degree to try to work on some stuff in the offense to help replace them. Joe C, applying pressure, that would be crazy to give a quarterback up and all that draft capital. It would. Craig, what do you got? Subscribe, you dead set legend. There you go. If you guys can, subscribe to the channel. Hit the thumbs up button too. Joseph, need to think smart and know what they need to. And know what they're needing. A quarterback is more of a need than us needing the edge rusher. Okay, I'm down with that. Aaron E. JMO solved. Free JMO. There we go. Free JMO indeed. Scott, if we think Smith and Garrett and Hutch make it back, if we are in the Super Bowl, they think Smith and Garrett can play one of the linebacker positions? That's a good question. If nothing else, man, you've got a lot of flexibility in rotational pieces. We all get Hutchinson, if he's back, he's not going to be 100%. He's not going to have the greatest stamina. So if nothing else, you can just rotate those guys along with others. So we'll have options. How about that? Hatman, did the Raiders tell Max Crosby to say what he said last night before for more draft capital? Ooh, that's an interesting idea there, Hatman. I had not considered that. Matty B, Titans are a trap game. It could be. Applying pressure or Hooker is on the bench and not helping us win. Myles Garrett will start and help us win. That is an accurate statement. Matt B, Hooker is insurance. That's why we have a bench. This is true. We do have one of the deeper benches at all positions in the NFL. Joe C, never mind. You don't know what I'm saying. Fair enough. It happens. Mark, Hopkins traded to KC. Correct. He is. Jason, Matt B, we're going to go all in, though, this year or bust, I think, next year. Jeesh. All right. We'll see. Johnny L, being in the hospital sucks. Try to get to the show, but I have to keep hitting the pause button. No worries, man. It's just, hey, if you're in the hospital, man, I just hope you're okay. Motor City Polly, Mike Florios spoke of Stafford trade into existence on his show yesterday. Simple as that. Yeah, okay. Thank you for that, Motor City. Applying pressure. The other quarterback that can be insurance we have, Jake Fromm. All right. Or, yeah, we can go out and sign somebody if it happened. Matt B, Jason Smith. We have other players to trade other than our only other quarterback. Yeah, maybe I'm guessing we can all agree the Lions, I reported it last night in the show, the Lions don't want to get rid of Hendon Hooker. I also get why Cleveland wants him. So maybe that's what's holding things up. Henry, say, Coach, they could have found something that was unknown to them, so someone pulled the trigger. It might not have been anything at all. Yeah, 100%. It might not have been anything. Somebody leaked out a story, you got the news story, and maybe didn't get it right. We're all guessing at this point with J-Mo. Hooker, yeah, it would be stupid getting rid of Hooker and leave us with without a backup quarterback. I'll go with that. Jason, Matty B, too bad we got rid of Boyle, huh? Yeah, I'm not sad to see him go. J-Mo, why is everyone okay with trading Hooker? That is stupid. I think the Lions are not okay with it. That's why there's no trades happening. Cleveland wants Hooker. Doesn't mean you're willing to give up Hooker. Let's see, Miles Meyer, Johnny L, glad you can get some chat in. Good morning, 100%. Hookadu without? Yes. Bo, Browns need a quarterback bad. Hooker price should reflect that the desperation. Bring down the amount of draft capital Brad Holmes could pay to acquire guys. That could be true. Applying pressure, laughing out loud. Hook is a backup quarterback. He is. Joe C, I agree, Hookadu. Doug, no one wants to trade for Hooker. We just want a.k.a. Hutch and his Super Bowl more. All right, that might be a fair statement. Johnny L, good morning, Miles Marker. Joseph C, that's what I've been trying to say, Bo Booth. Okay, now we know. Joseph C, that's what I've been trying to say forever, Bo. People just don't understand. It happens, man. It happens. Craig, if y'all hit the thumbs up button and think of your favorite memory of Dan Gamble, wine in my can, Campbell. Just take your best intent as yes and AF. All right. Jason, Doug Rosen. Yep. Bo, Joe, I got your back, bro. It happens. It's good to have each other's back. Applying pressure, trade Hooker. Lana, Brandon, what do you got? Why is everyone getting better and the Lions taking their time? I really don't like Dollar General Brad. Yeah, I got to bring back that thumbnail for Dollar General Brad. Applying pressure, trade Hooker, bring in Miles. There you go. Joseph, Bo Booth, good thinking, bro, and thanks. Jason, Atlanta, Brandon, Dollar General Fords is why. Okay, that could be. Doug, Bo Booth, exactly 100%. Atlanta, Jason Smith, Fords gave Brad the keys. They did. Kim, if we let Hooker go, or maybe we could get Fromm back, yes, maybe we could. Jason, Atlanta, Brandon, if so, he's still driving the Ranger. All right. Jason, no quarterback on practice squad. Okay. Mike 505. Who's we getting, Coach? No word as of yet. Go Lions. Woo! And good to see you, Mike, as always. Atlanta, Jason Smith laughing out loud. That was a good one. Philippines on demand. I just got here. Can you give us a recap of the later for the rivals? Hey, everybody in the NFC North apparently is trying to make trades to get their team better. Does that force the Lions into doing something? There's your quick recap. Joseph C. This past win on Sunday against Minnesota was a great birthday present for me. It was my birthday. Happy belated birthday that day. So I'm glad they won because it would have destroyed my birthday. Well, I'm glad they didn't do that for you. I'm glad they won it for you. Bus driver Brent, always good to see you, my friend. Good morning, Dew Crew. Between work and the two new German Shepherd puppies, it's been hard to make the live. Support Coach and hit that thumbs up button. Woo! Thanks for that, my friend, and enjoy the puppies. We're about ready to get another one, I am told. Doug, forget here or yesterday, some reporter talked about the undrafted free agent fines this year and last. Yeah, Lions have done a great job with their scouting department doing all that. So, hey, maybe they do feel some confidence in what they have. Motown Mitch, Lions rule, Bears drool, need to trade J-Mo Hooker, 14,000 billion first rounders for every defensive end ever. Okay, it's a bold strategy, Cotton. Applying pressure, Parsons doesn't fit us. He would have to play linebacker, I think, for us. Chuck E. Cheese, got to go get the deal done. Garrett would make us Super Bowl favorites for years to come. I agree with that. We'd have the best offensive line and defensive line. Johnny Gaz, good morning. Dan of the Dew Crew, exclamation point. Hope you all have a great Wednesday. Same to you, and thanks for coming on last night. Go check out Johnny Gaz's channel, by the way. Great dude, great channel. Applying pressure, trade Hooker, Brad, yes. And don't forget to check out Boss Up, Ball Out podcast. William, what do you got? Broski Bear is the reason I watch this channel. Pure entertainment. I love it. Hey, well then, you know what? Hey, nothing wrong with that then. Great Lakes, I like the trade that was mentioned for Garrett and Smith yesterday. Less the fifth round pick in 2026. You could use that to trade back up. Okay, fair enough. Great Lakes, you're alone, Willard. Maybe the other Dr. Troy. Okay, Craig, if y'all rock Love Gang, you're in the most kneecaps biting gambling resistant intent. With the best Dan Gamble, Wine Can Classic Gamble memory, hit that thumbs up button for Coach. He's the man. Woo! Thanks for that, Greg. And you know what? You're the man. Great Legs, I have no problem with trading Hooker as much as I like him. Not going to play. Fair enough. Dimitri, prayers for Gunny. 100%. Yeah, stay strong with your wife and thoughts and prayers. Kurt, prayers for your wife, Gunny. Exclamation point. Hope she's okay. Chuck E. Cheese, Stafford is not leaving. Stop that noise. Hey, talk to Florio about it. And I don't think it's going to happen, but maybe. Kurt Steele, prayers for Gunny. 100%. Mike 505, would Stafford throw the game against the Vikings just to go to the team before the fourth? That's a question. Great Lakes, Minnesota is not selling for Stafford. They're not Super Bowl bound this year. Even if they beat us, they will be ready next year, though. Okay. Chu, is J-Mo suspended? Not as of this morning. He is not. He is free and clear. Let's see. Motown, Lions need to trade the whole team and every draft pick for the rest of eternity for every defensive end to the rest of their team. Fair enough. That is a strategy there, Motown. Motown, how many points do the Lions win by? Well, you have to watch Friday's show for my bold prediction. Bo, 45-7 says Bo to Kurt. Motown, prayers for Gunny. Chuck E. Cheese, I don't want to list Hooker, but got to give to get. We would have to go get a backup Tannehill, maybe. Kurt Steele, Bo Booth, laughing out loud. Kurt, Dew Crew, let's go Lions. Let's get a trade done. Let's see if we can get her done. Matthew, Gunny, prayers for your wife. Got her in a warm blanket. Go get her a warm blanket. I saw a really good one that looks like a laundry hamper with a lid. They have warm blankets where I get my chemo, and it makes a big difference. Hey, well, thoughts and prayers to you and to Gunny's wife. Let's see. Great Lakes. We have as much luck in winning with From or Hooker this year. So if you're all in, Hooker can go. If Pascal got hurt, we're in serious trouble, and he's not that great as a pass rusher. That's probably a fair point. Motown, Kurt, before or after trade of every defensive end, 27-10 Lions. Jason, perhaps Hooker will excel during garbage time versus the Titans and raise his trade capital. Now, that's an idea. Good idea there, Jason. Great Lakes, watching from some of the games was hilarious. There you go. Harold Steele talking Lions safety duo, best in the NFL at 8 with Coach Mike and LL. We got to hurry up and get off the air so we can get everybody over to you guys. Motown Mitch, just because defensive ends are not very good on offense or coverage. Fair enough. Trump's waiting 13 days would be ignorant. You get a player now. Yeah, I would think you want to be proactive for sure. Chuck E. Cheese at corner makes no sense. We'll see. Hookadoo 34-14 Lions rule. Kurt. All right. Brandon, Sam Darnold to the Rams for 2 firsts and a third. Toss in Stafford. Laughing out loud. Maybe. Kurt Steele. Hookadoo, they're not maybe not that my score. Laughing out loud. Bo, the safety dance duo is numero uno. Okay, Great Lakes. Pascal attempt at a spin move. Looks like a 350-pound woman trying to ballerina. Not his forte. I'd say that's probably correct. Hookadoo laughing out loud. Kurt, Motown Mitch, I think Broski is jealous because Arnold is better than Johnson. All right. Earl, what do you got? Let's go Lions. Back at you. Hopefully it's a great morning. Moonscar, Great Lakes, Michigan. I saw that attempt. Not had me laughing. No Pascal, just no. Kurt, woo! Back at you. Earl, back at you with a woo. Great Lakes guys. We like Will Levis are kind of guys that have good games against us. He's a great running quarterback. Cannot overlook. Fair enough. All right, a couple more that got to get out here. Let me look for a couple people that haven't been on yet. Boy, can't get anything to work right now. Hold on, things aren't clicking. There we go. DJ New Subscriber, love the content you put out. 2 questions. If we trade a Hooker, who do we have as a backup quarterback? I only see 2 on the active roster. Will they need to elevate from? They would have to go get one for sure if they traded Hooker. They would probably have that plan already in place if they traded him. Bo, okay, we already got Bo a couple times. Let me try to find someone. Willard, 90% of the trades are already done by now. Just relax and enjoy the season. Fair enough. Anybody else in the chat haven't got to Chaos Coming Football will be back burner. Okay. Anybody else? Brian, if Brad doesn't do a trade, I honestly don't think he's the lead. Fair enough. Famous RW, great salutations, coaching crew. Back at you. Brian, come on, Brad. Phil, if get ahead against the Titans, they may feature Hooker to show he's good. Yes, a couple people have been on that. And yeah, I agree with you, Phil, 100%. DM5, what's Brad waiting on? Question mark. Time is ticking away, Dan. If the Vikings or 49ers make moves, we cannot sit idle and make another Dollar General trade. That I think a lot of people are on that board with the DM5. William, got the Lions 41, Titans 13. Phil, trust Brad. Okay. Alan, good morning, Can. Good morning to you too. John, I think this dude is clickbait later. All right, hey. Have a good morning. We'll see you later. Broski, Trump's a genius. Get some. Okay. Shah, honestly, if Brad doesn't make a move, I will start losing faith in his ability to make the move for the Lions. So that's fair. That's fair. Atlanta Brandon, Matty B, just don't know football at all. Is that Matty P? And Dan, can you explain why there wasn't a 10-second runoff Vikings game? Yeah, at the end. So when they clocked the ball, that stopped the clock. The referee said since that stopped the clock, there isn't a 10-second runoff, even though there was a penalty on the play. Let's see, Matt, Lions 21, Titans 24. Let's hope not. Michael, how do you feel about Trayvon? I would like him. I think he would be a big fit here. Big fit indeed. Kurt Steele, see y'all in the top of the hour, 100%. We got to get you guys over there. All right. Alan, Dan, can you please? Okay, I got that one. Sorry, guys. All right. Anybody else? Kurt Steele, thanks. Dink out your mouth. Get that drink out of your mouth. Fair enough. All right. Josh, any news on Lions trade today this morning? Nothing new this morning. All right, guys. I've given you all I can this morning. So if there is some sort of breaking news later today, I'll get over to you guys as fast as possible. If you could be so kind before you take off, hit that thumbs up button, hit that like button. Be kind to each other. Do something kind for someone you don't know. Be a good human being, and we'll see you all in the next Lions Talk Live. Take care, all. You're still here? What are you doing here? It's over. The show's over. Go home.